Okay, if you start on that, so then you can get back to the I tried to do it with my mouth shut. We're joking. I know it's a very exotic. I did enjoy that. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this meeting of Henley Town Council here in the River and Row Museum. Thank you very much for your hospitality. Today, the 3rd of October. The first item on the agenda this evening is to formally note the resignation of the Mayor, Councillor Sarah Miller, and to vote on a leave of absence due to health reasons. Before we move on to the vote, I'd like to say a few words. Sarah hasn't had much luck during her 2 terms of being Mayor. In the first term, we had COVID dominating our lives, and it's fair to say that Sarah didn't experience a normal year as those of us who have had the role before or indeed after her. I was very pleased back in May this year to rectify this in some way and to be able to nominate Sarah for a 2nd term. Not only because Sarah is the most approachable and glamorous mayor, as we fondly tell her, but because she is an extremely hard-working councillor and has a real passion for Henley. She suits the role of the #1 citizen perfectly. When Sarah first informed me of her health concerns, she was, as she ever is, completely upbeat, more concerned for how those around her may take the news, and determined to continue on, but realistic about the possibility of needing to step back. I know Sarah never wants to let anybody down. She powers on, usually with a smile on her face, and it was a hard decision for her to resign as mayor because Sarah wants to naturally help people. She commits and she follows things through. But we can all agree with some things are more important to prioritise, and our health must come first. I know I speak on behalf of all of those who know and work with Sarah at Henley Town Council when I say we are sorry to see Sarah step down as mayor, but that we are grateful for her continuing as a councillor and to support us. I'd like to formally propose a vote of thanks for Sarah for her time as mayor and also grant a leave of absence for the next 6 months. Do I have a seconder, please? Tony, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, I suppose I'm fairly new to meeting Sarah, but I've always been impressed by her openness and also her thoughtfulness. And it's very sad that she can't be with us today, but I know and hope that she will be able to recover fully. So thank you.
Can we move to the vote, please? All those in favour? That's unanimous. Thank you very much. We'll move on to the second part of this agenda item, which is to elect a mayor for the remainder of the 2023-2024 municipal year. Councillor Ganshad.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. I would like to propose Councillor Kelly Hinton for the role of mayor. And if that motion is seconded, I will say a few words.
Thank you, Councillor.
I'm happy to second you after you've heard a few words.
Just a few words. We as a town council and also a town are incredibly grateful and that we have such a wonderful deputy mayor to step into the shoes. I completely echo the comments that you said about Sarah. It's really sad that she's had to step down. She's a wonderful mayor, but you are you will be a wonderful mayor going in the future. I know perfectly well, Kelly, you said I should make a short speech, which I will, but I can actually see somebody in the audience, you know, the mayor's escort, you know, your partner Ben, who is extremely delighted to actually be your consort for the year. So on behalf of Ben only, we should vote you into the role of mayor. So I'm gladly propose you as mayor for the foreseeing year. Well done. Thank you.
If I could say a few words, just a few words. Kelly, now that I'm back on the council, we're working together. It's an absolute privilege and pleasure. And you're very knowledgeable, you're very energetic, and you're very committed. So good luck for this rest of the year. Anything we can do to support you, you know, we're here to help.
Thank you very much. Are there any other nominations? I see none, so we'll put that to the vote. All of those in favour? Yeah, that's unanimous. I'm now just going to remove the chain because we'll need to. Slightly less ceremony, but it's like riding a bike. Thank you to my colleagues for your support and for your words. I do have a habit of turning up in this role somewhat unexpectedly. So I'll keep this short. I'm honoured to be able to step up to this role on behalf of my friend and colleague. This year is not about me actually, or my contribution to the town, but about continuing on with Sarah's work and good work so far. I will be continuing to fundraise for Sarah's chosen charities. They are the local Parkinson's Group and the Henley Community Hub. I hope to work with Sarah on joint projects as and when she is able to, starting with choosing a Christmas tree for the town later this week together. I will take a moment and thank my family for agreeing to support me, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to step up and do this. As you are aware, I am also Vice Chair of South Oxfordshire District Council, and this means a rather full diary, which leads me on very nicely to our next agenda item, the election of a deputy mayor. It says here, if required, and I can guarantee that it's definitely going to be required for the next 7 months. So could I ask for nominations for deputy mayor? Councillor Riceman.
I'd like to propose Councillor Hunt, Deputy Mayor, for the rest of this year, and I'll speak if there's a second.
Is that seconded? Councillor Lambert?
Yeah.
Would you like to speak now, Councillor Riceman?
Yes, I'd like to say a few words. I'm very happy to propose Councillor Hunt for this role. I first met Rory about a year ago, and I was immediately struck by the knowledge that he had and the brightness of his character. He also has a breadth of knowledge about a variety of issues, which are both local to Henley and more generally. And I got to know him quite well. We both stood in the election in May, didn't want to get elected for here, and it was a pleasure working with him then. But since then, I've been working more closely with him, particularly on the financial matters, and he's shown himself to be a very quick learner, a good listener, and very pragmatic when it comes to applying ideas and also behaving with great proprieties as a councillor. Making sure that we act in the public interest and use taxpayers' money wisely. He has a wide range of knowledge, and we've spent a lot of time over the last 6 months talking about constitutional politics, cricket, and many other interesting sports, which we seem to share a few interests. And although we come perhaps from different places, we seem to end up with fairly similar views. Although I think my views of cricket and the World Cup are probably slightly superior to his. Time will tell whether my predictions are better than his. So Rory also has a large number of local connections. Although I haven't met him until a year ago, he's firmly embedded in Henley. He loves the town, and it's very clear that what he wants to do is to help Henley be a better place and play his role in doing it. And I think he'll be an excellent deputy mayor in carrying out that ambition. I
Thank you. Councillor Lambert, would you like to say something?
Thank you. I'll keep it very brief and just say that yeah, I met Rory a couple of years now, a couple of years ago. We've been friends since then. And as Councillor Riceman said, his knowledge and sense of pride in the town and embeddedness in our community is really impressive. But one thing that also struck me was that when I joined the council, you, Madam Mayor, had just won Young Councillor of the Year award, I believe. And I'm afraid Councillor Hunt is younger than you by 12 years. I believe now our youngest councillor, and he just turned 30 the other day. So happy birthday, and my second nomination. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations? I see none. All of those in favour? That's unanimous. Thank you very much. Rory, if you could move to the top of the table.
Thank you everyone for the confidence you have placed in me, and particularly to councillors Briceman and Lambert for those exceptionally kind words. Kelly, I look forward to supporting you in this year. I know you'll do an excellent job. And I know that this council has proposed some really excellent people and do a lot for the town in this time. We all wish Sarah a very speedy recovery and look forward to having her back.
Thank you. Congratulations again, councillor Hunt. Okay, now I know there was slightly less ceremony than you might have seen at a normal mayor making, but we are just going to move straight on with the agenda now. Agenda item 3 is apologies for absence. Town Hall.
We have apologies from councillors Eggleton and Miller.
Thank you. We now move on to public participation. If you would like to say anything. Oh, sorry, declarations of interest. I'm already messing it up in 5 minutes. Are there any declarations of interest from councillors for anything on the agenda tonight? I see none, so we'll move on to public participation after that slightly false start there. If you would like to say something, could you please stand and clearly state your name and then either make your statement or ask your question about the town, please. Would anyone like to speak? Pam.
Sorry, can't see those behind me. My name is Pam Phillips. I live in the close in Henley. And for those of you around the table who don't know me, I, along with Councillor Dodds, was a founder member of the Henley Range. So I have a great interest in the town council and what you do and how the town benefits. I did pop into the town hall for the agenda. And after I'd been vetted, I was handed a great sheet of paper, which I was expecting sort of 2 sheets of paper. But I have actually read every single word. And there's lots of questions I could ask, but the one that's really sort of dear to my heart is something in Councillor Gavishak's report about Oxfordshire County Council and the task that they have before them, because I understand, I think the words were unreservedly damning, or those were your words, that there are widespread and systemic failings leading to significant concerns about the experiences and outcomes of children and young people with special educational needs and or disabilities. And within our community, this is a very a group of children and young people that we should not forget. And for Oxfordshire to actually have that statement from Ofsted, which I'm sure we all know, the other one we didn't know, which is the Care Quality Commission. And they have been tasked with obviously doing something about it, from Councillor Gavishak's words. I think you're also as upset as I would, but I feel heartened that you're there to fight the cause for Henley, but I think that's very, very damning, actually, you for those people that are in the education of young children and young people with special education needs. So,
Thank you.
Councillor Gavishak, you can answer that.
Thank you, Pam. What's that now?
Pam, thanks for well, thank you for reading my report thoroughly. We've known about this for quite a bit of time. Therefore, it should not have come to this. If you go to the Ofsted report and read it, it is damning of the officers and also the leadership of the council. You may or may not know, as an aside, that the alliance has fallen apart in Oxfordshire because because the leader of the council wanted to move the cabinet member for this mess. And the cabinet member happens to be the leader of the Labour group. So the Labour group walked out of the alliance, which is a great shame because the alliance were doing some really great work. I've known for a while, whenever I get a special needs case, if you like, in my inbox, it takes me 10, 12 weeks of hard graft to try and get a report about the child and also the funding to follow. There is systemic failure in Oxfordshire, and this must be put right. There is a special full council of Oxfordshire County Council next Friday, in which this will completely be discussed. I do have great faith with the new chief executive and also the leader of the council, Liz Lechman, who is the leader of the Liberal group, that they will put this right. But they've got to put this right because 2,000 parents submitted reports to the Ofsted inquiry about the failings of Oxfordshire. One more sentence and then I will stop. Parents who have disabled children do not want the extra burden of incompetent bureaucracy on top of it. So therefore, yes, I will speak out about this. Yes, I will endeavour to make sure that it doesn't happen again and that the service is improved. So thank you for raising it. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Gavin. Are there any other comments or questions from the public gallery? Hello,
my name's Irene Boyle. I'd like to question the future of Trinity Hall in Hertford Road as a resident.
okay, so I can tell you that we actually, as a town council, don't own Trinity Hall. Trinity Hall is owned and managed by Trinity Church.
But it's the future of it generally in regards to Henley Hub.
In regards to the Henley Hub, is, as far as I'm aware, and obviously, as I said earlier, that we'll be fundraising for it, is a hub to be set up. I don't know if location is definitely set to say Trinity Hall, but the hub itself is exactly what it says on the tin, designed to be a community hub, a place for people to come together in the community. In regard to the specifics of that, in terms of lease of the building or ownership of the building and how that may change, that would be something you'd need to take up with Duncan at Trinity Church. I think would probably be the best person to speak to in this instance. Thank you. Are there any other comments or questions? Julian.
Julia Brooks, I'm speaking as Vice Chair of the Henley Society. It's just to let the council know that my chairman, Jeff Luckerton, and John Ratcliffe, if possible at the moment. We hope we'll be out soon, but if you have any of the Henley Society, town clerk knows how to get hold of me, and then pops up for the other in correct. But he went in Saturday night, did the 15 hours on the trolley in A&E. He's now in a ward, but we have no idea when he might be out soon, I hope. But just to let you know.
Really sorry to hear that, and actually missing his face in the public gallery, but if he's watching on YouTube.
Oh, right.
Maybe.
Will everybody hear that? Thanks.
Are there any other comments or questions? Valerie.
The Henley Society Vice President was the late Lord Moyes, and speaking to his sister recently, she said that one of the last things he was concerned about was the condition of the pathway on the bridge. When please is the asphalt going to be replaced with some copper?
Yep, thank you. Well, yes, we've got two things happening about the bridge. The H that is stuck in working at the moment to do with planning permission and also the tarmac on the bridge. I have emailed the officers to try and get this sorted out. This thing happened 2 regattas ago. So we've had the tarmac for one regatta and the whole of the year, and tarmac throughout the whole of the last regatta. The delay for the first bit was because the company had gone bust, so therefore they have to find the funds to do it. But yeah, I can only say I will chase again, Valerie, and I will personally email you to see whether I've got any progress. But thank you for raising it. Thank you.
Are there any other comments or questions? I see none. We'll now move on with the agenda. Item 6, which is the minutes of the last 2 meetings. The first being the full council meeting held on the 25th of July 2023, which you'll find on page 5 of the agenda. Councillor Lambert.
Yeah, I think it's already been corrected in the draft, but my apologies were sent for that meeting.
Thank you. I can see that's noted by the town clerk. Are there any other comments, queries, amendments that need to be made to these minutes? I see none. All in favour of moving those minutes? Thank you. And the second set of minutes, which you will find on page 8, are from the special meeting of the full council held on the 29th of August. Are there any questions, queries, amendments? I see none. All of those in favour to approve those? Thank you very much. Unanimous. We'll now move on to agenda item 7, which is the reports of the committee, starting off with a very hefty amount of planning minutes from Tom, councillor.
So minutes of the meetings of the planning committee of the 1st of August. Apologies for absence, declarations of interest, minutes, public participation, plans new, call-in applications, decision notices, certificate of lawful development applications, progress report or applications called in, progress report agents.
All in favour?
And they were so moved.
Thank you. Now move on to the next.
Minutes of the planning committee of the 15th of August. Apologies for absence, declarations of interest, minutes, public participation, plans amended, plans new. We had the election of the temporary chair. We had a temporary chair because I was absent. That's what happens. Councillor Thomas rejoined the room. Objections, call-in applications, decision notices, withdrawn planning applications, reconsideration of planning applications for Duke Street, certificate of lawful development applications, 2 discussions on the government consultation with permitted development rights. Sorry, still one. Progress report for applications called in, and progress reports on the items listed. I assume that.
All in favour?
Minutes of the meeting from the 29th of August. Apologies for absence. Declarations of interest. Public participation minutes resolved, sorry, that the minutes of the planning committee held on the 15th of April. When we last met, they were discussed and dropped. Public participation. Plans amended. Plans new. Objections, call-in applications. None. Decision notices. SODC landscape consultation. Progress report for applications called in. I so moved.
All in favour? Thank you.
And final one, I think these are the full minutes, so these are the draft minutes. The full minutes of the planning committee meeting on the 19th of September. Apologies for absence. Declarations of interest. Minutes of the planning committee, neighbourhood plan committee, and 2 other notes to be noted. Public participation. Plans amended. Plans new. Objections, call-in applications. Not West Bank. Decision notices. Certificates of lawful development application. Progress report for applications called in.
All in favour? Thank you very much. You need a strepsil after reading them. We'll now move on to the recreation and amenities minutes held on the 29th of August, which was chaired by myself. Item 20, apologies for absence. 21, declarations of interest. 22, public participation. 23, minutes. 24, progress. 25, finances. 26, Mill Meadows Adventure Playground. 27, allotment grants. 28, Park Services Vehicles Audit. 29, Tree Management Policy. I so move. All in favour? Thank you very much. We'll now go to Councillor Lambert for the minutes of the town and community meeting.
I hereby present the minutes of the Town and Community Committee meeting held on the 5th of September. Item 32, apologies for absence. 33, declarations of interest. 34, public participation. 35, minutes. 36, communications manager update. Over the page 37, town centre manager update. 38, finances. 39, Oxfordshire County Council deep plans. 40, progress. I so move.
All in favour? Thank you, that's passed. We'll now move to Councillor Riceman for the minutes of the finance strategy and management meeting.
I'd like to present the minutes of the Finance Strategy and Management Committee meeting held on the 12th of September. Item 23, apologies. Item 24, declarations of interest. Item 25, public participation. Item 26, minutes. Item 27, finance. Item 28, expenditure. Item 29, 24, 20 to 24, 2025 budget. Item 30, community grant scheme. At the bottom of item 30 is the resolution is that Energy Community Active Love Fitness be reconsidered following receipt of further information. That information has now been received, and I passed that on to councillors earlier today. I think it's they have managed to explain what it is that they do and what it is that they would like free use for. And I therefore like to add to this resolution that they are accepted for entry onto the free use list. So I'm so moved that amendment. I can have a second.
So second, oh, thank you, Councillor. I'm sorry.
Right.
So we do.
Yeah, all in favour of that amendment. Thank you.
Item 31, exclusion of the public and press. Item 32, legal updates. Item 33, Citizens Advice Bureau lease. I so move. Oh, no, sorry, move the page. Item 34, Henry Literary Festival lease. Item 35, Jetty at Singers Park. I so move.
All those in favour? Thank you very much. That's the reports for all of the committees done. So we'll move on to reports of other authorities. You'll find a report from your district councillors on page 31 through to page 33, and a report from our county councillor on page 35 through to 37. There were some questions submitted, I believe one. I'd like to
If I could. I have to apologise to the council and also members of the public. I am going to speak for a little time on it. I don't normally speak a lot on items.
You're normally quite truthful.
But I think that there's a second bit of the report that is also important. And it's to do with the beds at Townlands. That is the item I'm going to talk about. And I have received a series of questions from Councillor Riceman, who's the chair of the Townlands Steering Group. Just to explain what this is. We have Townlands Hospital, and to the left there is the Chiltern Care Home. And in the Chiltern Care Home there are 7 beds that are called step up, step down beds. And we, Valerie and others, fought hard to get these beds in the care home. They are sort of a replacement for the Peppold ward that was in the old hospital. Just to explain what a step up and step down bed is, it's a bed that's available for GPs to say this patient needs a bit of extra care, so I'm going to step up them into that bed. They will be looked after for 3 days and then they go home. Sounds like a perfect thing to do. They are also a step down bed. In other words, somebody is in the Royal Berkshire Hospital, the RBH. Let's say, for example, they're frail and elderly, they've had a hip replacement, and they need another week or another 2 weeks of convalescence. So they step down into those beds. They are 100% utilised, and the care board, the integrated care board, Bob, which is Bucks, Oxfordshire and Bart, are threatening to take them away, even though they're fully utilised 100%. Now I will turn to Councillor Reisman's questions, which I will read out very quickly and then answer. When was I informed about the change of proposals? I was informed by the Bell surgery on the 7th of September. I immediately wrote to Daniel Leveson, who is the boss of Oxfordshire Health, to actually say what on earth is going on. As this closure is a significant change of service, a consultation is necessary. The answer is, in my book, yes, a consultation is necessary. What data is available about the use of these beds? I have it on authority from the Bell and the heart surgery. They are 100% utilised. So therefore, there is great use of these for the people of Henley. If they weren't there, where would people have to go? Didcot and Abingdon. So you've got a frail person who's had a hip replacement, who would be in Townlands, would be in the children's care home. And let's imagine they've got frail friends, relatives, whatever. All right. If this goes, they will have to move, they will have to travel all the way to Abingdon to visit them. Sometimes these patients are in the children's care home for 6 weeks. So it's something we should definitely be getting angry about and upset about, and it's something we should do something about. Statements have appeared in, question from Councillor Rice, statements have appeared in the press that the needs can be met by home care. Well, no, they can't. The beds are precisely there because they need more than home care. This is a facility for people to be looked after by trained staff to get them well to then go home. Have the GPs been consulted about change? The answer is no. They've been told about it, but they have not been consulted. What does the RBH know about this? Well, we don't know at the moment, but the RBH, I would imagine, would be absolutely horrified by this because it now means that patients are staying in the RBH for longer than they should. In other words, they are bed blocking. And that's exactly what we don't want to happen. There was an operational paper by the Integrated Care Board that said they were trying to get the occupancy of Royal Berks down to 92%. Well, if these beds go, the occupancy rate at RBH will be more than 92%. So, in summary, Henley Town Council should take a view on this, and I invite the Chair of Town and Community to pop a motion on Town and Community to actually say we're horrified about this. Yes, I think the Townland Steering Group should be reformed at Town and Community as well, with Councillor Reisman as Chair. The other two things are that there is a meeting of HOSP, which is the Health Oxfordshire Scrutiny Committee, on the 23rd of November. Ian and I will be going to it and talking about it. And on the 21st of November, there is the Bob, which is at Newbury, which again, Ian and I will be going about it. We should make an almighty stink about this. And thank you to the Henley Stand for already leading on this. As for the comments by John Helm, I will reserve my judgment for another day. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Councillor Gavashak, and I understand nobody else has submitted questions and nobody is allowed supplementary questions, so that's the end of that item. And we shall move on to agenda item 9, which is reports from outside the meeting.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor. Could I take this opportunity, on
Okay.
Sunday, the 8th of October, Sarah was going to launch, the Walk Parkinson's, which is in the estate, which is called Colden Fort Estate, it's along the Marlow Road. And we're doing a mile and sometime might be doing 6 miles, haven't quite decided yet. But in Sarah's absence and your absence, they have very kindly asked me to launch the walk, and I understand there's about 300 signed up already. As lots of you will know, my husband had Parkinson's, and that's my connection with it, really. There is a Just Giving page. I could forward it to the town clerk if anyone wants to give. I know this is Sarah's charity, so anything that comes in would be considered for Sarah's. I mean, it'll be on paper, but you know, it'll go straight through to the Parkinson UK, but it'll be considered a gift to Sarah's charity, really. Yeah. So yeah, if anyone wants to come along and see us and work with our blue t-shirts on, do.
And that's 11 AM on Sunday. at
11 AM
Colden
or 7, yes, because you've got the run at 10, well, finishes at 10, the half marathon, so we clear the roads, let us through, so we can start for 11. Yeah, thank you.
Reminded me that I'm up on early on Sunday morning at the half marathon as well. Not running it, just opening. Make that clear straight away.
Oh, go on.
Okay, are there any other reports about somebody's? Councillor Kendall.
Yes, thank you. So I'd like to share 2 updates from Greener Henley and 2 really exciting initiatives that we would love everybody to get involved with. So the first one is called Nature Squared campaign. It's nothing to do with math, but it does involve being able to measure 1 meter square patch and to plant some beautiful wildflowers in it. So the aim of this is to really support nature by planting a local network of wildflower habitats across Henley and surrounding villages for pollinators, because we know that they need help. So it's an ask for schools, for gardens, people who have gardens, people who have tiny window boxes like you, Councillor Hunt, office courtyards or even balconies. So there's lots of opportunities to get involved in this, and you can collect a free packet of seeds, wildflower seeds, from the Henley Town Council Information Centre. And the encouragement is to plant them now, so that come springtime, there will be a beautiful, wonderful, amazing array of wildflowers across our town. And it's thanks to partnership with Henley in Bloom and the Henley Standard for being part of this campaign. That's the first one. The second one is also botany related. It's about a free garden tree initiative. Again, we all know our planet, our country, our town, our county needs trees. And so Greener Henley is partnering again with Henley in Bloom to support the Oxfordshire Garden Tree Giveaway. And the aim is to replenish the trees across our town and county. So anyone with a suitable garden space, we do want to plant these trees where they can thrive and survive. So you can order a free tree to plant. And the applications, there's a web form on the Greener Henley website. Applications are closing soon, and you'll be given your tree in December to plant. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor. Are there any other updates from outside bodies? Councillor Hunt.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to report some good news from the River and Rowing Museum, who are kindly hosting us today. Firstly, to welcome the new director, Steve, who is making some very positive steps towards getting the museum back on a good footing, and to note the museum's reopening and the recent visit from Her Royal Highness the Princess Royal.
Thank you. Are there any other updates? I see none, so we'll move on to agenda item 10, which is the Mayor's civic engagement. You'll see this on page 39, the last page of your agenda. As you can see that despite everything going on, Sarah has been busy right up until the end. However, she did send me on 3 events, and you'll notice the events in purple all dealt with boats. And here I am now sat in the River and Rowing Museum, surrounded by boats. There's a definite theme for everything I seem to be doing this year. Yeah, boats and cake, we like that. I deputised the cake judging competition on my birthday, so that was very active. But yes, as you can see, Sarah's been busy, and I hope to continue on with Councillor Hunt as well, and being as busy. But now we've come to the point in the agenda where we need to have a private conversation. So we're going to have a vote now to exclude all of the public and press. And that's in accordance with Public Bodies Admission to Meetings Act 1960, as publicity would be prejudicial to the public interest by reason of the confidential nature of the business. So thank you all for coming. Your participation in the evening is appreciated.